Kwa majina naitwa Benson. Kinachojiri hapa ni kitu ambacho nitasema imesababishwa na yearly meeting na monthly meeting. Na kwa hivyo tunasema ya kwamba yearly meeting na monthly meeting need to come to this church and we dialogue as a church. There is a court order on what is happening in this compound. And so the easiest way is to go the way the court had decided, that people sit down and dialogue. This issue of yearly meeting and monthly meeting, try to just stamp around, is not allowable. It is bad, it is wrong. What happened yesterday is so illegal. There's no way someone can just come to a pastor's office and break into the office and change the locks, and not just one office, like four offices that were damaged yesterday. And we've taken note of that. Our lawyers too have taken note of that. But we just call for dialogue. As Quakers, we're known for peace. We're known to be peaceful people. And so we want a dialogue with these people so that at the end of the day, the church can be able to progress. Yeah, so we need some serious dialogue at the moment. And this issue of dictatorship in church, or this issue of Samia in church, is not something that we want. We want a church that everyone can be listened to. Quaker church is more of a congregational church. This is not a dictatorial church. A congregational church is one whereby if a member feels aggrieved, he can be listened to by everyone, and everything has to stop fast and the solution be provided. But what these people are currently doing is they've decided to go the rogue route, trying to look for individuals to come in and attack us in church, trying to chase the pastors away, threatening them from stepping in this church, yet they're protected by the law and they're protected by a court order. Yeah. What is happening at the moment is the pastors have been told not to step in this compound. They are not here. And so as members, some of them decided, no, there is no way we will be in church, yet our pastors have been chased out of the church, while there is a court order protecting those pastors to be in church. You find that these people, what they're doing at the moment is they're trying to do away with these pastors because of some selfish reasons that we can't say on camera. But at the same time, because of those selfish reasons, they've even gone to extent of now beginning to attack church members, writing letters left, right, center for members, trying to make some members appear like they are lesser being in this compound. Yet, everyone has an equal shareholding in this church called Quaker Church. As long as you're a member, you have an equal shareholding with each other. And so that's why there is a section inside and there is a section outside. Yeah. Yeah, they were locked because, one, there is a court order on status quo saying that things should not change the way they are. And so it's like everyone is trying to pull from their side. If you look at NYM and monthly meeting, because of the bile they have against these pastors, what they've decided is, the way they interpret this status quo is, they have the powers to do what they want to the pastors. And so they've decided that they'll chase them out of the church. They decided they'll not pay them. For now, 3 months, those pastors have not earned a salary. It's just members coming with unga, some vegetable and giving them, and some small cash and giving them to just survive. You know, that is not the way men of God should be treated in a church, and it is so unfair. And you find that for the pastor's side, for them, they also hold on the status quo, which says that do not cause any harm to any member of the church. Let the church continue as the court listens to the ongoing cases. However, these people, they've decided that they'll not listen to anyone, they'll not listen to court, they'll disobey the law of the land. And for them, if you dare take the church to court, they deem you as you now an non-member. And you realize that our constitution is there to protect everyone. If you feel aggrieved, you have the right to go to court. But here, if you go to court, you become enemy of these leaders, you're chased out of the church, you're harassed. And that's why these pastors are now being harassed, because they have a pending case in court. And so these people be like, you took us to court, you'll not step in this church. Yeah. They are the monthly meeting leadership and the NYM leadership. You realize that these people, they've gone rogue. They want to do away with these pastors. in the sense that they are looking at money aspect, whereby what they're doing at the moment is they've decided that members need to remit a certain amount of budget to them in order for them to pay the pastors. However, this budget that they're saying members need to remit are highly inflated budgets. And so with this inflated budget and expecting that the pastors will be paid a salary at the end of the day, it is not possible for us to remit that budget to them and get something to even pay these pastors. And so they are really tightening belt around that so that they can do away with these pastors. And that's what we're telling them. Even employers, when they're employing, they don't employ telling you that you'll need to be bringing me a certain amount of money for me to pay you a salary. In that extent, if it has to go that route, then it becomes an allowance. It's no longer a salary, because salary should not be pegged on a budget. When you say that I've already employed you, you know why you employed this person, and so you need to remunerate them the way they were supposed to be remunerated. Don't make them appear like they're salespeople, that you'll need to bring this number and then I pay you a commission. That's what these people are now being done for. Yeah.
Can we conclude that there is a certain
Yes.
remit to yearly and monthly meeting
Yes.
departments?
Yes.
And so from that figure, if you reach that figure, that's when you get paid. If you don't reach that figure, you don't get paid.
So in our case here, it only applies to Friends Church Quakers here on Ngong Road. You find that for all other Friends churches around, they don't meet that budget. No one is meeting the budget.
What is the budget?
Around some 18 million shillings per year. And so you find that for us, we've been given the biggest chunk. And so no, we are not able to meet that budget. And even for other local churches, they're not able to meet that budget. But because this church is being targeted, they're now being told that for your pastors to be paid, they'll have to meet this budget and remit it. But they're not putting all those clauses to other local churches forming part of the Nairobi yearly meeting. So the minimum per month at the moment is around almost 350 that we need to be remitting. But if you quantify it together with other avenues that they're getting money from this compound, that number is way above 10 million or 12 million a year, because not just the tithing or maybe the offertory that is happening in this church that they are targeting. They've taken over everything in this compound. You find that church members come build something, maybe a structure, they come take the rent. Church members come build a borehole, supply the water around, they come take it. When these things collapses, they run away. So you find that they've taken everything to them, and the amount they are now talking is in the region of 12 million a year, plus the 350,000 that they are targeting from these members every month. And so you find that that is a tall order for these pastors to be able to meet, because you can't tell someone that for me to pay you a salary, you'll need to be remitting this amount of money to me every month. And you keep on hiking it, because last year it was 300, this year they inflated it to 350. And so it's really bad, and it's really a bad trend that they are doing. And they're doing it with the way of doing away with these pastors, because they know the pastors are like the hindrance block for them to execute whatever they want to execute, which one of them is use the title deed of this land to get a loan. And they're even on record saying that they can do away with this church and relocate these members somewhere else so that they get this land for commercial use.
Thank you for, my name is Peace. So there's a lot of peace in this church. Peace Agufana. I'm a member of this church, and church members are just protesting. What has been happening is that the constitution of the church was changed without member involvement, so that the leadership at the top at the Nairobi yearly meeting and the monthly meeting can take control of this compound and take control of all the structures. They have created a company called QICL, Quaker Investment Company Limited, which they don't give they don't tell the congregation what they use with the money they collect from this compound. There's a lot of collection. Even this sanctuary is used for funeral meetings, for so many meetings that take place, weddings, among others. They collect a lot of money from this compound. When you come on a weekday, this place looks like Grogon. They repair motorbikes. It's a mechanic workshop. It's no longer a church. They have also imposed leadership on the church. every other time they just change the leaders. And you know, in the Quaker faith, we have to do an election. We nominate people and then we elect. But they have done away with that. They impose leadership on this church and they do what they want on the congregation. They have even labeled some members to be rogues, which is not. People are just protesting. They want transparency to take place on this compound. Our pastors were employed by the church, the Friends International Center local church. They want to transfer them to the Nairobi yearly meeting payroll. These pastors are human beings. They have loans, they have children, they have rent to pay, they have so many responsibilities. And yet, when they are being proposed to go to the yearly meeting, the salary they are going to get there is half of what they are earning at this local church. So there's a lot of push and pull from the leadership, and it is personal. They want to have personal gain. They just are interested in what the congregation gives, and then they use it for their own use, not for church purposes. So this is why people are protesting. Majority of the members of this church are supporting their pastors. They want the pastors to come back to church. Yesterday, their offices were locked, which is against even the court order that is in place. They are always given letters at night, at midnight, by the local church leadership. They want to remove them from office, and yet there are labor laws that should be followed in case you want to terminate the services of somebody, which are not being followed. They are not interested in paying them their salaries. They have gone for 3 months without salaries. At the same time, they are falling back on their loans because the banks are pushing them. So the congregation is just wants dialogue and justice. People are ready to sit down and talk. The leadership of NYM and the monthly meeting are not ready to talk. And that's why you see members are protesting. The grounds, they collect from the grounds, the rent from this. There are so many businesses here. In fact, there's even a car bazaar here. When events come here, they collect the money, and we don't know what they do with the money. They still rely on the congregation to run everything on this compound. They don't reside here. They are renting outside there, and they need to pay the rent. They need to feed. They need to take their children to school. For 3 months, they have not earned any salary. The option is that we'll just be sitting outside here and not going into the sanctuary, because they're imposing leadership on us. They're imposing pastors on us. They are pastors who are legally in office. They have been employed by this church. They are bringing pastors from elsewhere to come and minister here, which we are not for, because they are persecuting our spiritual leaders. Definitely, when the congregation gives some sadaka or tithe, they go away with the money, and we even don't know how much they collect. We even don't know what they do with the money.
Yeah, my name is Geoffrey Lijodi. I sit in one of the committees that nominate leaders. And for the period that I've been in this congregation, and by the way, this is the biggest congregation in the world, with the people who have the highest ranks in this country, with people who have the highest level of education to the lowest. We accommodate people from all specters of all sectors, and what is happening is very sad. We have had leaders whom we have nominated 3 times that have been chased away because of no reason. So currently we have no leaders. So we are wondering how the highest hierarchy of leadership in our Quaker faith will just see us as people who have no qualities to lead the church. Yet when we nominate leaders, we have professors, we have advocates of the High Court, we have doctors, we have even mamambogas, as long as they have qualities of leadership that we include in the leadership roles in our church. But how this becomes not making sense to the highest hierarchy means there's something sinister that we are not aware of that is expected of us. We have had challenges, yes. I have offered myself to do mediation because I'm a good mediator. I've spoken to the highest hierarchy, to the monthly meeting, to the yearly meeting leaders, to come sit down and have a mediation where I can lead. But they have not come to us and to listen even to me on how I can mediate this stagnation that we have in this biggest congregation in the world. So it hurts some of us because we have people here, politicians, we have leaders in other sectors of our country. I want to challenge our leaders because we have people in government who are Quakers. I want to challenge our elders in other congregations. I want to challenge you. This is a call I'm making to any Quaker who understands the history of Quakerism to come and assist us in solving this stalemate. Why am I saying this? Because it's painful. We cannot come to church with our children because every time we come to church, there's a lot of drama. We cannot come to our church with our wives. Most of the youth here have married women from other congregations, from other churches. So how do you come with a wife you've married from another church and you fight each and every Sunday? So to the leadership of NYM, we say we are guided by core values of equity, simplicity, community, and peace. Where are we demonstrating the Quaker core values in this stagnation that we have? So lastly, please let everyone who is a Quaker, who understands the history of FIC, stand up and come and assist us solve this mess.
So you say you sit in the board.
I sit in the nomination committee.
Nomination committee.
Yes.
Where did the rain start beating the church?
The rain started beating the church because of interest from the highest hierarchy. Because that's where the problem is. There is no member here who has pointed a finger at a leader and said they are incompetent. All the fingers that are pointed at the leaders come from the highest hierarchy. And
Why the interference from the leadership?
that's why we are asking them to come and dialogue so that we can understand what we are not doing right. That's why I said I have offered to do mediation, but they are not coming to the table. Because we are the people who nominated the last office that has been disbanded. Before that office, there was another one that was disbanded. Before that one, there was another one that was disbanded. Not really. We nominate leaders every time, but the highest hierarchy does not look at them as leaders. So we are not the problem. We cannot be wrong 3 times, 4 times. The highest hierarchy is Nairobi meeting. We have begged them to come to the ground and listen to us. Because Quaker faith, we are not supposed to go to court to solve issues. We are supposed to sit and talk. We don't elect leaders, we nominate.
Have they responded to you after you requested to come?
We have done several letters. There are several factions of the church that have written to the highest hierarchy, seeking questions, asking questions, begging them to come and listen to them. There is no reply. We are stagnated. We don't know what to do. We are peaceful. The congregation is very peaceful. We don't hold placards. We don't fight. We just write to them. The only mistake the congregation has done is to write to them, to request them to come and listen, which they have not done. They have to respond. We can't move into the new year with this kind of arrangement for 3 years. We can't accept. If indeed they are serving God, the Almighty God, and if indeed they understand the Quaker faith, the core values of simplicity, of equity, of peace, then they need to come down and listen to the congregation. We were in the morning. We are still in.
You haven't been in the south.
We will not abandon this church. We were inside there. We did praise and worship.
You have not paid your time.
We do.
No, you haven't paid. I was there. I didn't see you.
The service is not over.
It is over.
Not
You
yet.
have prayed.
Not yet. Not yet.
The service is over. They
So,
have
so,
prayed.
so maybe who was there leading the service, because pastors are not there. Who are they leading?
When I was in there, we were doing praise and worship.
Who was your leader there?
The praise and worship team.
All right. So the pastors are not there.
No,
So now there have been service there. Who was leading?
I don't know who is in there. That has been there for the longest. This is not the first time. Yeah.
So to go,
Over 3 years.
You've been living like
Yes. We've had police come here to force us to accept leaders. In Quaker faith, there is nowhere where the law says that we should go to the police to come in church when we are installing leaders. It is a shame.
who is this calling the police to come?
We don't know, but it must be people who are resisting our leaders. That's why I'm appealing to the elders in other congregations, to the politicians who are Quakers, to come and call the house to order.
How many of the members sitting in that committee usually sit? How many members you sit?
We are usually an odd number, 9. Yes.
What's the forum that has to pass?
There is no election. We sit there and agree so and so, and the name is picked, and that is it. We don't vote.
You nominate.
We nominate.